hurricanes. They're natural disasters that have impacted many lives. And one time back in 2003, let's say September 10th, 2003, my wife tells me when I get back home from work that she feels that we are being called to hand out, of all things, fruit snacks to victims of Hurricane Isabel. Now, Hurricane Isabel did not hit the coast until September 18th. So this is, I'm just saying, about a week or so prior. I don't remember the exact day. But it was kind of odd, out of the blue. Like, well, okay, let's pray about it and we'll see how God directs us. And we did, and many times, and it felt, okay, this is not going away. We need to go ahead and bring this to our church so we get our church behind us and see if they would even approve or, help us with this. Well, while we were also a little skeptical, they were right behind us all the way. We set the date to be a few days after Hurricane Isabel had moved off and there was still devastation in the area. We went to church a Sunday and then we went off. What made this one of the numerous miracles that happened with this step of faith, as we were definitely walking by faith, is the Saturday before we left, 12 hours before, let's say, we had maybe $50 for a trip, a 14-hour drive one way, because we were going to visit a family that my wife grew up with in Virginia Beach, and then make the trip, I think it was like 5 hours down to Elizabethtown, North Carolina, where Isabel had really caused a lot of damage. Well, that morning we woke up, we went to church, and we were still going. Even if we had $50, we knew somehow, some way, God would provide a way. And like I said, the church rallied behind us. We left with totes of fruit snacks, numerous jugs of water, cases of bottled water, and they prayed over us before we left, and they even gathered together and donated a random amount of money. Let's just say, for argument, and there's a reason why I'm using a specific number that I'm going to, $651.73. God provided the funds, and off we went. On the way, we saw numerous signs and different other occurrences, like on a Wednesday night, we were in North Carolina, and we kept on passing by churches. And the first few were just like, okay, yeah, it's a church. What do you do? No offense. But the more we passed by them, the more both of us would feel impressed. We need to go to church tonight. We know no one here. And then finally, we passed by this one church, and it's obvious during service. And it's just undeniable. We need to go to that church now. Pull a Yuri. So we pulled a Yuri, we went to church, we talked to the people about, the hurricane, why we were there. We gave them some water, some fruit snacks for the children they had. And we had nowhere to stay. We knew nobody. And we asked some people there if we could maybe camp in their yard, and it wasn't happening. And they were like, tell you what, there's a hotel off the road. You cannot see it from the main road. Check there. Turns out we got the last room available at that hotel that night. Woke up, went to other places, saw many people, handing out fruit snacks. And one story I will not forget is this one wonderful woman. She was telling us about, we were talking to her and we asked her, how has this impacted you and your family? And it just kind of popped out, and because it's obviously, okay, it's a devastation. How do you think? That wasn't her answer. It has brought our family, which was kind of not estranged, but not the most connected, and they lived in the same towns, area around them. It's brought our family together, and it's restored all these connections. And she wasn't the only one who told us that. So even in the tragedy of a hurricane, God was able to use it to bring families together. There was another thing, there's a reason why we handed out fruit snacks. You see, when my wife was younger, and Hurricane Hugo hit, when they went back to their house, there were huge, tall pine trees in their house. Power was out and everything. And the reason why we brought fruit snacks is because when they were in lines waiting for bread and water, there were people handing out fruit snacks for the kids. And it was something she always treasured. It's something she never forgot. And God used that event in Hurricane Hugo to lead us to hand out fruit snacks to the kids with Hurricane Isabel in 2003. Now here's the other miracle that kind of blew my mind with financially. We go back home from our mission trip, and I do the calculation because I kept all the receipts and everything. And when I did the final tally of the gas, the food, the lodging, the everything, it was $651.73. The same exact amount that we left is the same exact amount that we spent. God gave us what we needed. He knew exactly to the penny. And I mention this because if there is something that God is calling you to do, to take a step of faith, and you don't even see the funds, like I said, we had $50 the night before we left. Take the step of faith. Take that step. And watch God move. And if it's truly God that is calling you to do this, God will make a way. He doesn't call the strong, he calls the willing. He calls the weak. And those who are willing to take that step of faith. And there's all kinds of stories of that in the Bible. And those stories can still happen today. And also, I want to end it with this. If you have a story of faith, of how you have taken a step of faith and God has done something and made the impossible possible, share it. Send me the link. The contact info is in the description down below this video. And I want to hear your stories. And we can do a collaboration, but either way, just share it and send a link in the comments. And let's continue to share our faith with the world. And if you don't know how, a link to the course is down below. So hit subscribe, and continue to share your faith.